10 o'clock. We're coming a little early today because I have a meeting at 11. So I didn't want us to miss our class and I didn't want us to be rushed for art. So welcome. Welcome. Wow, we're looking a little ragged for a lot of days in quarantine. So hopefully you got the message. If you did not and you're signing in at 10, just start the video over. Okay, so I apologize. Going forward, we're going to try to stick to our 10:30 time slot, but check in before you go to bed to see if there's any schedule changes. Because I think I did do that last night because something came up and I had to do that. Life is always about change, right?
Yeah.
It is. So we're going to wait a couple of minutes, see if our adoring fans come on. So, welcome. You want to see what's on my mug? Please don't shake the table because we had this issue yesterday. We lost our camera. And hopefully, if you're signing on, we don't know yet if we're upright or the correct way, if we're balanced. One of my favorite mugs. It's an art history mug. Don't hit me. It's an art history mug. Please don't do that. We've got one. So whoever you are, please communicate if we are crooked or if we're even keeled. Because we need to know. And we'll reschedule. We had some technical difficulties yesterday. So hopefully we are correct. And hopefully you got our note. Oof, my hair. Oof. We need some quarantine hairdressers to come in. Okay, Tony. Hey, Tony, just let us know. Are we okay or are we crooked? Just give us a heads up. You don't have to watch the whole video.
Hey, Tony.
But let us know as we wait for more of our hundreds and thousands of adoring fans. So today's art mug. History of art. It's a history of art.
Oh.
I got it at a museum. So it's art of humans from like whatever. Looking good. Thank you. Thank you, Stephanie. Thank you.
4 people are watching.
Today's cup. So I know this is messing a few people up that were coming on a half an hour earlier, but there was a reason. So my apologies in advance. Going forward, we should be on time. So you're here for art with me, Deborah, and my assistant Simon, who just woke up. I know I look like I just woke up.
I just woke up. I was just being lazy.
Well, that doesn't surprise me. But we both look like we just woke up. And I've been up for hours. I don't know how everybody's doing. Let's check in. How's everybody feeling? Let's see. Hey, Christian, what's going on? Nice. Thank you. I'll share a little bit with my mug before we get started on today's lesson. It's art through the ages. The other day I had Bob Ross, who should be on here. I don't think he is, but it ends with modern art. So every day a different mug.
Why would he be on there?
Because he's a great artist.
Yes.
And he brought joy to many people.
I know he's a great artist, but
no
he's
arguments.
Not art.
He is art. Art is anything you want it to be. Art is.
But like.
What would you define? What would you define as art? Hey, Rachel.
That's not what I meant. I meant.
How's Simon doing?
I'm
Christian,
doing good.
You're doing good?
Yeah.
How are you doing with remotely accessing school?
Okay.
All right. I'm not digging it.
What I meant to say, Bob Ross is not a painting.
No, Bob Ross is not a painting, but as an artist, he definitely belongs on this mug. If you agree with me, chime in if Bob Ross deserves to be on my
but it's only
art
painting.
History mug. No, they're not just paintings. There's Frida Kahlo. Well, maybe you're right. Maybe I will concede.
There's literally only
So, we're starting early today. This is art. Usually, and I know the other centers work on this too. We all have different. At our Bergen Center, we have about trying to think, like 6 art instructors, 6 different people that teach art. I happen to be one of them. My class is not the best by far, but what we're going to be working on today, and for this kind of whole week, is working on art that with things that you would have in the house. Is watch on your right hand? Somebody wants to know. I wear my watch on my left hand, so everything is reversed on the camera. So I finally figured that out, and I figured out how to write. Don't check the table. We had camera issues. How to write backwards so it could be read. So that's your Easter egg on there. So I know we're early today, and that's going to leave some people a little late to coming in, but that's okay.
And cranky.
And cranky. I'm definitely cranky in the morning. Are you cranky in the morning?
I guess.
Yeah, no. You're not a morning person.
I'm just imagining you like sipping that coffee and then be like, ow.
No, it's not hot. It's cold actually because it gets cold. So let's go over what our art project is today and what materials you need. Some people had asked me to post the materials or let them know in our last class. So they are throughout our Facebook page, but I'm going to go over it again on what you would need for this project. So should we have the unveiling?
Yeah.
We have no music today. Harry's fine. So we're going to be working on rainbow stained glass painting. Okay? I'm going to bring it in. All right? That's what we're going to be working on.
Just
very
extravagant chairs.
Well, some people might say that abstract art might not be art.
But not circles.
I disagree because it's on my really groovy mug. Art can be anything.
But without like curves on the
You don't even know.
shapes
You don't even know what I'm doing. You don't even know. So before you judge, let's find out why I picked this. Why I picked this project. It may look deceptively simple, and it is not. Well, it's not hard, but it's something we all can do, and it's with things that you have in your house because you may not have had. Watch the table. We may not have had a chance to go to the art supply store. So you have these things around your house. I'm pretty sure you have some of these things. So this is our project. And I want you to see, we're going to create, like, we want this difference in colors. We want some of this color pooling. Somebody's still yawning. To create it like a stained glass. Has anybody here ever been to a fancy schmancy church or an old house and you've seen like St. Patrick's Cathedral? I went not too long ago. No cats on the art table. And you can see the beautiful stained glass that's there. And as it gets through time, it's interesting if you've ever been to a really old house. If you've in the United States, we don't have that many, but like if you go to Europe and you see glass is kind of it naturally works with gravity, right? And it slowly pools, even though it's a solid. It kind of gravity takes its effect and gets a little thicker as you move on the bottom. So stained glass is not this perfect, consistent color all the time. Some good artisans, yes, but it's got this kind of ripply look to me. I don't know if you agree. If you do agree with me, great, chime in. I know everybody's expecting 10:30, so hopefully we'll get a few people to start. So let's begin with our materials, things that you will need for this stained glass rainbow project. The other reason why we're working on a rainbow, it's rainbow in a different way. Thank you, CNN. I don't know if I need all my updates. Why am I picking a rainbow project? There's a reason for it. One of my friends, one of my neighbors had shared something with her neighbors, which I guess are my neighbors. Hey, Doug, what's going on, man? Cool. Glad you're up early. Sorry for the change in time. We had something that popped up. So, hey, this is what we're using this time to be flexible, to learn how to change, and to be cool Flexibility is cool. So while Simon chases the cat, we are working on our rainbow art. It's going to be stained glass rainbow inspired art. Now, the reason why we picked rainbows is my neighbor had shared an idea that I guess she got somewhere else, or maybe she came up on it her own. I don't know, but it's a good idea. So because so many people are out taking walks, especially with young children, or it doesn't matter how old you are, who here doesn't love to see a rainbow? Let me ask you. Do you like to see a rainbow?
It's okay.
It's okay. It's like a
really,
major magnificence
it's really
of science.
Cool looking.
Thank you. Okay. So how does looking at rainbows make you feel, or bright colors, or just colors in general? How does that make you feel?
Like I'm looking at colors.
Good morning. Good morning, Alex. So great. My great-great-grandma was Japanese artist, and her name is, and I'm terrible with names, Shoha Itu. And she painted for what? You gotta be kidding me. The Emperor Hirohito, and has a museum. That is very cool, Christian. You like are a wealth of information. That's very cool. I didn't know that about you. So everybody, feel free. We're going to be working on a family tree project. The Bergen Center is, so maybe we can extend it to all the centers, which would be awesome, and we could share some stuff with each other. I have no famous relatives. None. I'm not famous. Talent, not too much in my family. So, your rainbow project. So anyway, my neighbor said there was this project that you would put out paintings or pictures or whatever, art, of rainbows. So as people are walking, they can see a positive, inspiring image. What do you think of that? You seem unimpressed. I thought it was a very good idea, and that's what inspired this project. So we're going to inspire. And then when you're done with this, you can frame it. You can, maybe not everybody has a laminator. I have a laminator because I'm a little weird. Hello, Katie. So sorry. Yep. Katie gets a prize. She found the Easter egg. She found it. But
you literally showed it to everyone.
Well, but she wasn't on yet, and she found it.
Okay. Hide all my.
Alrighty. Easter egg found. Good job. So, rainbow art. So, you can laminate this, and you can put it in your window. You can just put it in your window. You can frame it. But we're going to be working on some really cool art concepts. We're going to be working on geometric shapes and some different types of painting techniques. A classic. And we're coming back because these are things that you should have in your house. This is not a judgment. If you do not have these things in your house, it's okay. But we're going to start to, I think, broadcast maybe down from our craft room and our chicken coop soon. And then you can see a lot of these things. I have all these supplies. But if you are an artist or a lover of art, you might want to make sure you stock up on these things. So these are things that you should maybe or probably have in your house as we speak. Stephanie's neighborhood is making chalk rainbows in their driveways for pedestrians. Excellent. I saw that too. I know Tony's son had done that, one of our instructors. So now you can put this up in your window, or you can do this with chalk. We're working on geometric designs. Geometry is cool. I did very good in geometry, believe it or not. I was an algebra tutor. Too much information, sharing. So let's get started on our supplies. Okay, so if you're joining us, I'm Deborah from the Bergen Center. This is my assistant Simon.
Or
son. Working on rainbow stained glass painting. Okay, so had to think, what do you guys have in your house? Simon has a ruler of rulers. I don't know where I got this from, but it's a ruler with all the British monarchs. So here, don't knock the camera over, or we use the ruler the way the nuns used to. Terrible comment, but some people might say that it's true. Okay, so first thing I would suggest is you're going to get a ruler. Okay, if you don't have a ruler, you can use any kind of straight edge. You can use a notebook. You can use a book. You can do it freehand. It's okay. I'm not coming to your house to do that. But this is a great way to practice our ruler skills from art. Hey, right, Caitlin? Right? A ruler of rulers. It's very cool. Or I'm a nerd. I don't know, but nerds are cool. Alrighty? So, maybe that's why I like this mug. It's not a ruler, but it's a timeline. All right, so we've got working on our geometric designs, our rainbow stained glass painting. We need a ruler, okay? So if you have a ruler or any type of straight edge, use it, okay? Or you can freehand. I'm a little weird with my edges. You will need some type of brush, okay, if you're working with paints. So my first thing is, somebody said yesterday, we don't have watercolors, I don't have paints. You can use any paints. I will adjust the steps for you. You do not need to use paints. If you have colored pencils, you only have crayons, you only have markers, you have lipstick, I don't know, eyeshadow, you can do it all. It doesn't matter. It's okay. We're just getting creative and we're being together. So we're going to use some brushes. You're probably going to use probably like a medium brown brush. You could use something bigger, but something like that. So Simon and I will be working on that. So your brushes. Your starting thing is, I'm using crayons. I guess you could use oil pastels. You can use anything. I'm going to use crayons. These are the unsung heroes of the art world because we want a wax. We're going to be working on an old classic to create this kind of stained glass effect. We're going to be working with a wax oil-based bottom. So that's your crayon. And but you can use anything. If you don't have crayons. Most people have crayons. Most people do. I don't know. Maybe you don't. But any type of crayon, or you can go ahead and use colored pencils, markers, whatever. If you're going to use markers, you're not going to use watercolors. Just to let you know, it's going to just bleed all over the place. Okay? But crayons for this actual specific design. Okay? All right. Watercolors. Simon, you and I are going to share because last night I didn't know if you were going to be up in time to get you your extra. So we're going to share. But I'm going to tell you right now. Like I don't like brush abuse, I don't like watercolor palette abuse. So clean your brushes. Don't be mixing your paints in the cakes. This is what this little thing is called, all right? Or I'm going to be taking the ruler to you, all right? All right, so watercolors or any kind of paint, doesn't matter. Watercolors, that would be nice if you've got watercolors, okay? When you can go to the store, maybe try to get some watercolors. So we got our crayons, our brushes, our watercolors, our ruler, and the next thing you're going to need is a pencil. I've got one left over from Christmas. You can later on, one of my faves, and I hide them at the center. Sharpies. You can use black. You can use, I have some fancy schmancies. Okay? Use those. Put those aside. There at the end, as a punishment, my grandma used to use a wood ladle. That was one of her cookings, a wooden spoon. Classic, but works. Yeah, don't do it. We're all joking.
Or are we?
Are we? Water, clean water. Make sure you get some clean water in a container, a cup, or something like that. Because that's how you're going to clean your brushes, and that's how you're going to make the watercolor. Some people use the tubes. We're using just the simple cakes. Yes.
And make sure not to use all your brushes.
No, do not use. You only need one brush. You only need one brush for this project. Only one.
Or 46.
No, not 46. Paper. How could I forget? All right. So paper. Any kind of paper. If you're working with watercolors, you don't need to use watercolor paper. I was watching a cool artist that she doesn't like to use watercolors on watercolor paper or a medium that it absorbs it. She likes her watercolors to kind of roll off. And hence, one of the reasons why we're doing this. This is why we're going to put a wax base if you're doing it this whole way. So any kind of paper, but I do recommend you're better to get like a thicker paper, but if all you have is printer paper, it's okay. If all you've got, especially if you're working with just markers or colored pencils or crayons and you're not doing the paint, it doesn't matter. It's just to help the paper from ripping and tearing, because if you use too much water, it could make your paper a little soft and tear. Alrighty? Okay. A bowl? That's right. A bowl. Any kind of bowl will do. Careful with the Sharpies. Yes. Those I've already put aside. Sharpies are for the end of the project if you want to use it. So I hide those babies because they disappear. And they're expensive. So a bowl. The reason for the bowl is we're going to be using the bowl and the ruler for tracing. Okay, so we're going to be working in really clean geometric shapes. All right. Where was Simon when you took the photo of the stocks? I have no idea. I think he was on a camping trip of some sort for the Boy Scouts, the Cub Scouts. I don't know. I wasn't there because I would have left him there. But now, for your paper, what kind of bowl you say, Deborah? If you want to do a full rainbow effect, meaning all you want to do is a rainbow, you might want to get a big bowl. And you're going to, this is a terrible thing, you can trace the lines to make just a solid rainbow. We're going to be doing it a little bit differently, but you can do this. So, if you want a big circle, you get a big bowl. And you would trace each line going up, and I'm going to show you in a little bit. So the size of your bowl depends on how big you want your sun, or if you're using your bowl to just trace rainbows, that's the way you do it. We have two different size bowls, so let's begin. Just a review. You need a bowl, well, you need paper, you need a bowl of some sort, you need a ruler, you need crayons, you need watercolor paints, paintbrush, clean water, and it's probably good to have some paper towels. Okay? Think we got it all. All right? So let's begin.
And just stuffed teddy bear for no reason.
Well, Oreo's here. I'm going to need some space.
No.
So Oreo's going to chill out there for a second on my cart. Okay. So Simon, I'm going to give you this bowl.
But I don't want to use circles.
Well, we need to make one circle. So the first circle you're going to do is we want a sun. And the reason why I did this is I like the contrast. You can see a lot of contrast. So I like the fluid, the soft shape of the sun. And it doesn't have to be a sun. It could be any color you want. But the round, fluid, soft shape as compare or in contrast to the harsh geometric shapes. So your first step is you're going to take your bowl, and I put it in a corner. You could put it in the middle. You could put your sun in the middle. I don't know if I should do that. I don't know. Does anybody want me to do it in the middle? Or you could do it to the side. I think I'm going to stay to the side, but you could totally do it in the middle. Okay? Now, Simon, why don't you show what the shape you made? You are going to take your bowl wherever you want it. Okay? I'm going to do it on a corner. And you're going to trace the bowl on the paper.
But I already did that.
I know. And then you're going to put your bowl aside. Okay? So there we go. I don't know if you can see it. Okay, you're going to use your pencil because if you use a Sharpie or a marker, when you use watercolors, it's going to run all over everything. Okay? As I said, you could do a couple of circles. This is whatever you want to do. We're going to work on a radiating design. Radiating like a spider web or a sunshine. So I'm only doing one circle. See how I have that? And I did it on a corner because I'm lazy and I didn't want to do the whole thing. But you could do it in the middle. Okay? You could do it wherever. So, draw or trace. You could draw it too. Your circle, your half circle or your full circle. Hey, Ruth, what's up? What's up, girl? Now, this is where your ruler comes in. You are going to make a radiating design. What does that mean? From the center out. It's like, don't move that. Not radiation. Out. So here's our sun. You can see one line. Cooper singing. 2 lines. 3 lines. 4 lines. See how I'm doing that? See? So your design is going to be radiating out. So you're going to use your ruler. I like to use the ruler because I'm a little stickler with my straight edges, but you can do it freehand. And you're going to draw some lines. See how I have that? Just coming out. Okay? It's harder than it looks.
It's not hard. I just messed up.
Well, that's part of life. That is part of life. And you're going to do, it doesn't matter how many you do. If you want to do it really intricate and make 10 lines, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to do 5 lines. So you see how I'm putting it down from the circle and I'm tracing out. So now you can see the design. All right, let's pull that in. See? Looks like a sun. Okay? Sun is necessary for your rainbow. So just do your lines radiating out.
This isn't a rainbow, but...
Okay. You got it? Radiating out. Okay? Because we shine from within and we shine on out. It's always a metaphor or meaning or I don't know. So welcome to our art class. We're working on abstract art. Working on our rainbow stained glass, because this is what people are putting all around their houses and their windows. Somebody was saying, Stephanie was saying they're putting chalk designs. This is what we want to do. Okay? You need your paper, your pencil, your bowl to make your circle. And we've made our lines. Now, you're going to be here painting a long time. See, I'm smart. I work with big blocks of color. But that's cool. You can stay and keep doing it. It's okay. It's okay. It's what you are the artist. You are in control, right? We're talking about.
What I want to
don't
do.
worry about things you don't have control over. You know, not that I want you to worry about this, but take control over what you can, and your rainbow is what you can control. So if you want to make 20 lines, that's cool. Now, I hope you didn't start coloring. Because now we're going to make an extra line. You don't have to. If you want to do it like Simon, very nice, and you just want to make lines of color, you can do that. But I'm going to add some more lines. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make some shorter lines, excuse me, shorter lines in my big lines, in my long lines. So these are like intersecting. So you're going to take your ruler again, and you're going to just wherever you want, you're going to trace. See, so I'm connecting 2 lines together. So I broke this up into 2 regions. See how I did that? Now you can do them all in the same design. You could do it in the same place. See, I'm tracing. See how I've got that? I'm breaking up my color. You might want to have your lines on diagonals. See how I have them kind of on diagonals, kind of moving, they're kind of slanted. You know, because that's the way light usually works. But you can have it if you like really very specific, moving our camera. Wherever you want these lines, wherever you want them, if you want a very specific kind of matching pattern where everything's halfway done, you want your lines touching. See here, mine are touching there and they're going out, they're radiating out. We're just making blocks of color. Okay, that's what we're gonna do. Blocks of color. See how I did that? You could do it any way you want. Any way you want. If you want loads like 30 Different blocks because you're like, hey, Deborah, I'm stuck in the house. I'm going to be working on this all day. You can do that. You can absolutely do that. Okay? So I made another one. So different geometric shapes. Different geometric shapes. See how I have that? So work on that. And your next step is going to be when you finally have your, get away from our jigsaw puzzle, Gertie. Shoo. You're going to work with your crayons. If you do not, thank you, Simon. If you do not have crayons or watercolors, your project is going to take a different path, okay? Your project is going to work on markers. If you just have crayons, you're just going to color this in. You're going to add your color, and I'm going to show you one other design. So it's okay. Don't be upset. Don't be upset at all. Just do it with what you have, okay? And I was talking about how sometimes we can use the bowl just to make our lines. So this is maybe you just wanted more traditional rainbow. Use your bowl or a plate. A big plate would work on a big piece of paper. And you can just make all different rings. So now you have them. We're not working with canvas because we're working with paper. I didn't want to bring out the Scotch tape because I didn't want it to tear. So that's why you could also do these shapes with tape if you were working on a canvas, okay? That tape resist. That will help you. You can also use painter's tape if you're taking your time, but we're just gonna wing it. We're gonna freestyle it. So, you can do whatever designs you want. And I'm just gonna give you a different design on the back, different ideas. Hold on. Using my bowl or my plate. Here you go. Here's working with the plate, multiple designs, and radiating sun. So it's really up to you on what you want to do, okay? I'm going to work on my traditional design. There, okay? Now, your next step is you are going to use your crayon and you are going to color your design, okay? I like to trace my line in the crayon color I'm going to do. Now, I'm going to color it in. So I've got some advice on this. You do not, for our project, need to give it a tremendous amount of pressure, and do not panic if you don't, if you don't perfectly color every single scrap of that paper, and I'm going to explain that. You're going to color it, you can color it any way you want. So I'm going to show you. So I probably picked a hard color. So see that? I just lightly colored. The harder and the thicker the crayon is, because that's a wax. And does anybody here know why this method works with watercolor and crayon? The paint kind of lays, bless you. You've got toilet paper if you need it. The paint lays on the wax. Does anybody know? That's from your science. So what we're doing is, if we leave little spots out, see how it's not perfect? The watercolor will absorb into the paper there. It will. But it will lay more on top of the waxy part. So see how, I don't know if you can see that. See, that's what we're looking for to create that effect. It makes your crayon or your color underneath brighter, but it creates that kind of layered look, and that's what we want for our stained glass. So you don't need to sit here and make sure you get every single piece. You should cover it pretty well. And the thicker it is, the more resistance, the more that the paint will lay on that, okay? So just start picking your colors to color, all right? And I'm going to get some colors, and I like contrast. So what I recommend is, this is how I did it. You've got a lot of different spaces. You're all quiet today. It's because you're working so hard. Do you need more coffee? I think it's because you're working so hard. Or I put you to sleep. It could be. It could be. So one of the things you might want to do is plan out. Every day is a good day. When you paint something happy, Bob Ross. Absolutely. Absolutely. I want you to plan your squares or your triangles and spread them around. You don't want you could have all your blue, like you could have all your blue here, all your orange, or your green. You could. But it's kind of fun when they're all over the place. So I typically don't like my colors, my different colors to touch for a project like this. So this, you have to use your noggin a bit. So maybe you pick one color and you come back and you start to trace. I only like sharp crayons. Ooh. Simon, you're making a masterpiece. You're gonna be here for all week till we're back. So I also like to refer to my color wheel and contrast things. So maybe I've got my yellow near my red. Well, you could put yellow all over. I didn't before. But remember, the cousins, these are kind of cousins. They go together. Ones that are far apart on the color wheel, they pop, right? Boing, right? These guys might blend a little bit more, a little bit softer contrast. So it's up to you. So I like as much contrast. So what you might want to start to do is trace your shapes first. All right? Might want to do that. Trying to get your layout. So I'm moving around. You may want some light colors mixed in with your dark colors. So see how I've got that? So I've got a green, I've got a red, I've got a blue. You can virtually tour the Museum of Frida Kahlo if you want to. That is very cool. Please do it. Let's keep the arts going. Let's keep the arts going. You know, some people don't think art's important. I think it is. I think it is. Art is what makes life interesting, right? Why would you want to go through life with everything plain? Maybe. If you're a monk, I don't know. It's okay. Different kinds of arts. So as you can see, I'm starting to lay out my colors. So I've got my green here. I started with my green. I am happy to be alive as long as I can paint Frida Kahlo. Absolutely. Interesting story. Interesting life story, right? She had a very interesting life story. And that's why sometimes the best artists, and here she is. Here she is on my history of art. Ta-da. Paint what you know. Paint your life. Makes it more personal. So I'm just coming in, and I'm just going to show you in a second. Yours is going to be better because I'm working. So see how I'm starting to plan my designs? This is all in your planning. So, because we want different colors to match up. Maybe you're like me. I like things to be really dispersed, very even. My mom was like that was growing up. Aunt Dawn and I always had to have the same thing. Even Steven type of thing. Even though my sister and I are 9 years apart, we may not like the same things. You know, it was cool though. I didn't get hand-me-downs because, you know, I wasn't going to wear bell-bottoms in high school. So, or disco clothes in high school. It wasn't cool. And you know kids can be cruel. So I'm just going to be adding some color. We're also maybe having a cat visit us. I don't know. Okay. So I'm just adding a little bit of color so you guys can see. Just keep going. And when you're done with your design, I want you
to ride my bicycle.
No, I don't want you to ride my bicycle. I want you to somehow send it to me. Okay? Now, I put my orange near my red. See, that's showing. They're like cousins on the color wheel. They fade in more. So I need something really to pop over here. I don't know. Green? Purple? No, I already put purple. So I need something. I need something. So working with your colors, I didn't use yellow, but maybe I should this time. So if you are just working with colored pencils or acrylic paints, go ahead. You're gonna be doing a different step than us. So here's Simon. Share it. And you don't have to stick to the basic Crayola crayons. I was just too lazy to go downstairs. 8 crazy people. Oh, I used black. I really didn't want to use black. I want this, not that anything's wrong with using black. You could, but I usually wear black, but we want something a little, black can be a little, what do you think, Simon? It's a serious color.
Dark.
It's dark. It's dark. We want bright. We want rainbows, right? Does anybody know the secret to rainbows? How you guess your rainbows? Or you name the colors, right? Roy G. Biv?
RBGB.
Yeah, right? Red, orange, yellow, green, blue, purple, indigo, something like that. Okay, see how I'm filling that in? I just want you to go in. You're going to keep filling it in. Keep adding your colors. If you are working with your markers and your colored pencils, just keep doing that. Just keep doing that, okay? So I'm going to move fast. You guys are going to take your time because you don't want to sit here all day with me. Or do you? Earth without art would be eh. That is true. That is true, Ruth. It would be eh. Art is what, makes the difference. And for the people who don't think art is important to the economy, just get out. Get out of my video. The economy? That's what everybody's freaking about. The economy. So, like, when we talk about how you make money, right? Manufacturing, making things, right?
That's dumb.
Well, no, that's important. I was an economics major.
No,
believe it or
that's
not.
not what I mean. Believing art is not part of the...
It's really important, art. It really is. And you have it in all aspects of your life. You have design. That's one of the things, like, Apple's really good at that. Apple, yeah, that one computer saved their whole biz. A beautiful body perishes, but a work of art dies not. Leonardo da Vinci. Wow, you guys are getting like really philosophical here. Absolutely. Love it. Love it. And let me take green here.
A hero may die, but the spirit always lives on.
Oh my goodness. You guys are, I think you guys have been locked up too long. You guys are turning into intellectual samurais here, geniuses.
Don't you want us to
all right.
Are you worried about that?
But art
Why would you be worried about
is
that?
in all elements of life. It makes products. Art can be very practical. I'm missing something here. It can be very practical. It's how we design machines, technology. You think your phone looks like that for just because that's the easiest way? I'm only looking up these quotes on Brainy Side. Cool, but that's cool. Thank you. Sharing them.
Gertie bit
Hearing
me.
them is important. It doesn't matter how you get them.
Gertie bit me.
It's for us to discuss. So I'm almost done with my colors. You're going to take your time because you're going to work on this when I'm long gone.
Gertie bit me.
What? She didn't bite you.
Yes, she did.
She bit you because maybe she's hungry.
Yeah.
So here you go. Here's my design. So, but when we talk about design, it's in all your, that's how your headphones, they look into design for stuff like that. So art's important. It's how we use things, and it's how everything works. Makes life worth living. How about that? Makes it interesting.
Well, if life didn't have art, would you end yourself?
I don't think so. I don't know. Maybe that's what keeps us going. getting a little dark. Let's keep it positive. We're working on rainbows, our rainbow art. Our rainbow art, right? Our rainbow art. Okay, so we're going to be working with watercolors. So when you have a little tray like this, don't ignore this little piece. You could do a lot of blending here, but we actually want the paint pretty thick, okay? We want it pretty thick.
I have a Gertie in my lap.
So you're going to, well, you have so much. Here, let me show them. Simon's going to be here forever, which is okay. It's beautiful. I love it. I wasn't saying that. So I'm going to start in the center. I'm going to work on, this was a dirty one. So when you're working with watercolors, the cool thing about watercolors, and I learned this from a very smart art teacher, the amount of water that you add, the amount of water that you have is, dictates how deep or dark or light your color is in watercolors. So if you want like a really, I'm working with yellow, so I want a really intense yellow, I'm going to keep my paint a little bit thicker. I'm not going to add a lot of water. If I want it very light and pale, and that's why sometimes it works great. You can have an extra plate, you can have a palette, or you put a little bit of your paint here, and you just keep adding water to that, and that will thin the watercolor cake, so to speak, the paint. So you'll get a thinner color. I actually want a pretty thick color. All right? This is one of the times where I say more is more, maybe. Usually I'm like, hey, less is more. So I'm making a thick, not super wet and gloppy, but these people got to stop calling me when I'm on teaching my class. They should look at the schedule. All right? Because you come first. So working with my thick paint, I'm going to start to apply my color onto my crayon. You're not going to do this if you're working with markers. It's going to get all kind of yucky. So see how I'm doing that? You've done this many a times with me. I know a lot of schools do this. This works, and I want it kind of thick. But my paint is thick. It's not like I'm pouring a whole ton of water. What the heck is going on over there? Because I don't want it like dripping or totally wetting your paper. The crayon will help protect your paper a little bit because it's wax. The paint's going to lay on top. You can almost see that it's like, it's running on there. So you're going to, my yellow paint was a little dirty. That's why I say, hey peeps, make sure your brushes are clean.
No.
Yes.
No.
That's a part of brush abuse. Make sure your brushes are clean when you're going from cake to cake. Okay?
No.
Like if you were going to a chocolate cake, would you really want vanilla cake mixed into it? Clean your tools. Clean your tools. Clean your tools. I'm going to report you to your teacher.
No, I'm just arguing you for no reason.
Yes, I see your argumentativeness. So you're working on your adding that layer. So see how it's kind of like mixed? See how sometimes where I had less crayon, it kind of absorbs into the paper, which is nice. And then some of it just stays on top, right? That's what we want. That's what we want. Okay? Alrighty.
Stop it, please.
Ah,
Stinky.
I had a cat named Stinky. I miss him. All right, paper towel. Whenever you're doing art, make sure you have paper towels. It's always a good thing. I'm going to clean my brush thoroughly, or you can use a different brush. You can. But I'm going to clean my brush, and I'm going to go to another color. And this is what you're going to continually do. So here I am. And if your water gets really dirty, you may want to clean your water from time to time. Just dump it, get fresh water, because that will affect how it blends. So see how I'm doing that? I don't know if you can see that. Probably not. But it's a pretty thick, so it's pretty dark. Going dark. To the dark side. I just put my finger in it.
Somebody
could probably figure out what it...
So I don't know
What
if you
I'm
can see
drawing.
that. See how that's kind of pooling there a little bit? That's what you're doing. So you're just kind of blending.
Somebody could probably figure out what I'm drawing easily.
I don't know. It looks like something from Minecraft.
That's because you got it.
I
told
got
you
it.
You could get it easily.
Ah,
It is
'cause I am.
Minecraft.
Please do not tap the table.
Da, da.
Okay.
I was waiting
Or
for
we'll
you
have to get the
realize,
ruler
wait,
out.
this is Minecraft.
So I don't know if you can see how I'm doing that, but you see how some of the paint's pooling? We want that. We want that. It's going to dry. It's going to look far out. It's going to look cool. And you can do a couple of coats on it. Okay? Going in, going to each. One of the ways that will help you is I would color everything first, plan your color palette, and then you can work on one color at a time. One color at a time. So I'm just kind of doing nice broad brush strokes. Color at a time. Okay? Does anybody know what artists like geometric shapes? Anyone? Think of some artists that like geometric shapes.
Literally every single artist.
Well, no. Some have much more of a fluid or design, or maybe there's not a lot of a lot of modern artists now. Like, you know, I forget what the name of that lady was. I gotta find that. A lot of contemporary artists, a lot of artists, 30s, 40s, 50s.
40s, 50s,
60s,
70s,
like that.
80s.
I like the security. Is that a good word? I find geometry, stark and straight edges comforting sometimes. Some people find them cold.
Then you like Minecraft.
In person, I do. I don't always get Minecraft, but I like it. I like it from an artist standpoint. I forget a show called Fake or Fortune. It's a BBC show. And yeah, and people, I will not be accused of making forgeries. So see how I have that? So I went in, I did my red. See how I did that? Did all my reds. And you can see, I'm making sure that I'm using enough paint that it's pooling a little bit on top because it's that crayon that resists. So when you move from color to color, make sure abstract artists use the shapes a lot. Absolutely. Can you think of somebody? Can you think of somebody? I could think of somebody very famous that used it. I don't get it all the time. We've done it at our center. I know you guys have done it. So see, I'm making a nice thick blue. Not a great deal of water, but just enough to get a nice gloppy. Now blue usually, bless you.
I have the coronavirus.
No, don't joke. Don't joke. We've been trapped inside. We have allergies, so.
I do?
What about Cubism? Picasso, he's not the only Cubist. But there's a lot of strong, geometric, angular angles. I'm running out of adjectives. Think about Cubism. Does anybody here like Cubism? Do I hear some of you? Hi, Alex, how are you? Are you working or are you going to work on this later? Let me know. I want to see. I want to see what you're all doing. And I think I'm going to post, it's on our Instagram page that I'd like to share, or on Facebook. I think you can load up your pictures in our comments, or you can email them to me. But I definitely want to see your rainbow abstract stained glass art. So see how I'm working on that? See how it's kind of all over the place, our paints. Just enough. My blue is really strong. But Cubists, the idea of Cubism is that when you look at an object, we only see the perspective that's facing us, right? In our face, right? You're only seeing this side of me. But a big thing about Cubism is we're seeing, the reason why it's all pulled apart is the idea it's trying to look at you or your object. Hey, John. Hey, Dave, you're trying to look at your object from every angle all at once.
Why?
I really don't know. I think that's why a lot of people don't like it.
Why would you want that?
I don't know. Why do you think somebody would want to do that? Why do you think
Because they're bored.
Because they're bored? Well, hopefully you're not bored during our video. Because it's art. And art's never boring.
It can get boring sometimes.
But my coffee's cold. Stephanie has been working along with you, and we are going to post a picture. Please do. Stephanie, please, please. That would make my day. Please. Please do it.
Why did you turn into an
All right.
person?
Why did I turn into I was not an art person.
An opera person.
Oh, an opera.
You were like,
I saw the world's. Some of you who get to sit with me at the center get to know I saw a really cool opera not too long ago, and I'm still giggling about it. I'm not necessarily. I like it as I get older. A bunch of people screaming kind of reminds me of my family.
Because it is.
Opera is tragic. Usually, it can be comedic. It's very, very dramatic. Just like our stained glass. So what I'm doing is I'm leaving. I'm hoping that as yours is starting to dry, see, we're filling. There we go. I can't do that. We're filling in the spots of our crank. Oh no, my son. Black hole sun.
The angry sun.
I had a malfunction. That's okay. I just wiped it off. It's all right.
The angry sun is.
Yes, the sun is angry today. The gods were angry that day. Just keep on filling it in, and the more you have, the more squares or triangles or angles you have, the more dramatic it will be. Okay, it'll have a cool effect. So let that paint, as you can see, and when you're working, don't be silly like me. Leave it flat because you want this to dry, because you want these pieces pooled in. Okay, so see how we have that pooled in, because that gives it that kind of like glassy feeling to it. We want that. We want layers of color. Layers. What's that from Shrek? An ogre is like an onion.
Layers.
Onions have layers. Life is all about layers. Okay? Not layers to keep people out. It's layers of just knowledge and
or just layers of anything.
Interests and experiences. Don't use it as armor.
And pizza crust.
Oh, we have a cat that eats pizza crusts.
We do?
So, yes, we do. Kitten eats pizza crusts.
Why?
Kitten, a.k.a. Westchester.
Why do we feed him pizza crust?
We don't feed our cats pizza crusts.
What?
He steals them. He finds them and he steals them. I don't know why. I don't know why he does it, but that's what he does. So, okay,
I
we're coming up.
respect his decision. I would be him as a cat.
Would you eat somebody else's pizza crust? Maybe now.
Wouldn't you?
When we get no, I would not eat somebody else's pizza crust. That's a layering in life I want nothing to be a part of. So, yeah. So,
I'm gonna get somebody who thought she could hide from me.
so yeah. So keep on working on your colors. I'm almost done with mine. Working throughout your rainbow. You do not have to add all the colors of the rainbow, but that's kind of a lame rainbow if you don't. But I almost put my brush in my coffee. Trying to add, let's make that social contract between all of us. Let's make sure we put at least one of every color of that we can. So once again, just showing you, I'm taking a little bit of water, making it kind of thick. I want thick paint. We don't want so much water that our paper is ripping and tearing. If that's what's happening to you, you're doing brush abuse. Stephanie wants to know how to post her picture to me. That's a good question. I'm not a guru with technology. I'm not bad, but I think if you go to our Facebook page, so you know about it, and you go to the video later on when it's done, find this video. It will be saved, and maybe you can go up and let's see if you take it with your phone and you make a comment. What I will do is I will borrow I hope you don't know copyright laws. No, I'm kidding. I will take your picture and then I'll post them on our Instagram too. I'll move them around so people know to look for them. That's one way. You can also email me. You can email me as well. Okay? You can email me and we can get them up that way. Oh, I'm getting so many messages about this meeting I'm supposed to be having, but I'm going to take care of that in a second because I want to finish our thing. So this is another project that you won't be finished with and I won't be finished with until it's dry. Okay? Until it's dry. So if you have your pictures, you can put them in the comments of these videos and I will pluck them out and I'll try to put them up on our Instagram as well because I like to go from or you can email me at CEA 2. Let's do it this way. What's going on over there? Oh, I didn't do that well. CEA 2, Bergen, the word Bergen, CEA 2, BERGEN at gmail.com. You can do that too. You can also upload them in what's on your mind. The WhatsApp, is that what it is? You can do a lot of things. So I'll try to figure that out and let you know. Okay? But if you post them on this thread, I'll also post them on our Instagram so people can really see them. Because sometimes people are like, I want to go through all the comments. So you see how that's coming out? See how that's coming out where the paint is layering in on stuff, right? What you may want to do is let it dry a little bit, and you might go back and you might say, hey, I noticed there's some spots that I might have missed a little paint, or it doesn't look like it's very layered. The paint really didn't layer that much. Add another coat, just like a light coat, and let it kind of pool up. And when it's dry, it's going to have, that's almost amazing how I almost did exactly the same. It's going to have this, but you got to let it really dry. Just let it dry. Just let it dry. Okay? And then when you're done with that, okay?
Well,
I'm sorry, everybody's going nuts.
I think right now.
When it's dry, what you're going to do is you can take either a crayon, you can take a black crayon, you can take a silver crayon, or this is when you get your Sharpies. I like Sharpies because it'll lay nicely on the crayon and the watercolor. So I don't know if you can see it, but I came in with like a bronze. It kind of looks like that soldering that they do. It's completely up to you if you want to do that. And you just outline everyone on that, okay? You just outline all your shapes, and it'll just give a little bit more definition. Can also cover some of your boo-boos and things like that. But that is basically the project. So I can't do that for you now. I could. Maybe I'll try a little bit because it's still drying. But what you're going to do is you're going to come in with your Sharpie and you're going to outline, okay? So you're going to outline, my gold. I'll do black this one, okay? Okay, you're going to outline the whole thing and it'll give it a little bit more pop, Okay? So, you can also upload, okay, I thought you said you could upload them in your mind. You could. So,
Can you read other
once
people's
again,
minds?
this is your class. This was your art class with me and Simon.
Yay.
You've got something to do all day for this. You've got this all day to work on. If you're working with just pencils and magic markers, that's cool too. Send them to me. Post them to me. Okay? You can do that. You can also post these. I think you can upload some things. You might be able to do it on our forum too, on our blog page as well. So just share everything with everybody as much as you can. You're going to, as I said, with all your materials that we had, you're going to cover all your crayon work with a layer of watercolor. If you need to get more of that bubbly look, you're going to add another little layer of it, okay, that layeredness. You're going to let it dry, and then if you like, you're going to outline the different shapes that you have in either, you could use a crayon, you could do a metallic Sharpie, you could use even acrylic paint with a very fine brush too. You could do it in other things. So, I'm going to sign off. That is our art project. Thank you for coming in a little early. Next week we should be on time at 10:30. Thank you, Simon. Wow, you're doing something crazy. You're doing something cool. And whatever you do, it's okay. Even if you didn't do it this design, show me how you looked at it differently. I would love that. So everyone,
Mom, remember.
thanks for sharing some art time with me. Tell your friends.
Remember,
And-
we gotta do that.
We gotta do what? Oh, yeah. Elbow. Pop. Yeah. So keep the faith, keep the hope, and keep on painting. Bye, everyone. Bye.
Bye.